You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You're fucked, mate.
And
We're nice
we're
now.
recording.
Bienvenido.
Hey.
Feliz Cinco de Mayo.
Welcome to rugby. Welcome to
All right.
Rugby Pod.
You don't sound very happy.
Friends. Welcome to Friends of Rugby.
Oh, that's you. You're not celebrating Cinco de Mayo with me?
Oh yeah, it's Cinco de Mayo. I'm Cinco depressed.
Sinking into a depression.
I just feel like my dream trip
Yeah.
to Cardiff.
Actually, I'm with you. I
Has
am
been
actually
ruined.
with you. I am actually with you a bit. I did want to see. I was excited to see the greatest club team ever assembled live.
I really
was.
wanted to see Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, I did too. And now we're seeing clash of the large rugby teams.
I don't even know where to start this podcast.
Why don't you start with more of your feelings? I was enjoying that.
I feel like I'm walking in a desert and an eagle comes by and flies over me.
Don't worry, it rains like fucking Cardiff. It's not going to be dry.
I just-
Promise you that.
I just feel so robbed.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to, like when I went to go watch Argentina All Blacks in that semifinal in Paris there,
Yeah.
and there was just no game. Now I'm worried something like that's going to happen.
Yeah, the scales have been unbalanced, haven't they?
I'm just super worried that we're going to go and watch a fucking, like
A blowout.
a blowout.
Yeah.
I'm so worried.
I'm worried about our ability to predict rugby games because I heard a lot of people going, the media wrote Northampton off. No one wrote them off harder than we did.
Oh, fuck. We
Our
said some
listener
shit.
Heard that.
Our listener heard that.
Yeah, our listener heard and was like, that was mean.
We fucking
We-
shat all over
We
Northampton.
wrote them off so hard that they were never going to play rugby again.
Yeah. And then we fucking just...
They were going to be the first team to record a negative score.
There wasn't... Let's be honest. There wasn't a fucking person on the planet Earth
No.
that was like, oh, yeah, I think, you know what? I think Northampton got this. Like, there wasn't a fucking...
Except Northampton,
Yeah,
the
except
team, except the Northampton rugby team and their coaches.
we were reading all week that we'd get
Yeah.
blown out. Yeah.
Of course.
Because you know why?
Yeah.
Because we're looking at the evidence.
We use that's the point I wanted to make, and that's what I was ranting to you about when we watched the French game on Sunday, right? Like, yeah, people wrote them off because of the evidence, right?
Mhm.
The evidence that Leinster had heavily defeated Glasgow and Harlequins, who are good rugby teams, albeit with some injuries. Having said that, congratulations, Northampton, and
Yeah, right.
fucking wow, what a game. Fucking wow, what a performance. And I think they're right. It's good when people use that ammunition. It's useful when people are like, you're going to get fucking battered. Like, the amount of people in the world whose success is based on anger. I keep going and I keep driving to spite my fucking enemies is a strong motivator, right? So good for them. Good for them. I'm not taking anything away from the way they won. They were really good.
We're 2 days removed from this game.
Yeah.
So a lot of opinions have already come out.
We're just going to rehash them like
We're
we
going to
normally do.
rehash those
Oh,
opinions.
yeah. You came here for leftovers. That's what you're getting.
Get the sloppy
Yeah.
seconds over here.
Yeah.
What's your favorite take on the game?
My favorite take is okay. If for the memes, the crisis that the Irish media is having about Leo Cullen, about Geordie Parrott not getting started.
Yeah.
I love that. It's juicy.
I kind of see the Geordie Parrott thing
Yeah.
because I kind of see what they were thinking behind that.
Okay.
Like not starting him,
Go on.
keep the Parrott boy in the cage. And
Okay.
you get Geordie out as an impact player. And you also
Yeah.
got fucking Gary Ringrose and Robbie Henshaw.
That was the point I was going
like,
to make. Yeah.
who's who's doubting those? Oh, you know, those are two really fucking good players.
They're not academy products, are they? They're seasoned Ireland international veterans.
So like,
they're probably the best centre pairing at some points in time. Have been the best centre pairing in the world.
yeah. So what the fuck with people like? Oh, what do you got? You got Jordy Payne all this money.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but you got these two guys who have proven themselves over and over again
Yeah.
that they're fucking good.
Yeah, and they've won significant honors. You know.
Like so I could see them like, oh yeah, we'll have them out. They'll be killing these fucking Northampton fucks.
Yeah, it's not like you're playing an untested guy. I understand the criticism. The principle of the criticism is Ireland. Sorry, that was a genuine mistake. Leinster have tripped and fell at the last hurdle in May to the point where it's become like a meme. Like people that get excited for May to watch Leinster shit the bed. And the whole point of having Slimani, Geordie Barrett, RG Snyman was so that this doesn't happen. The principle of that complaint is, what the fuck was the point in buying them if you don't play them for the fucking game you bought them for?
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean? Yes, Northampton were written off. Yes, Leinster were arrogant and had one eye on the final. Mm-hmm. But you've paid a lot of money for these guys to do one job to get you over that last line, and you didn't even bother. That was bizarre. I understand that, you know? But you are right as well. Robbie Henshaw and Gary Ringrose are no fucking...
Yeah. So
I would say they're a better centre partnership than Northampton's, right?
100%.
Yeah, they are.
So it's like people are like, oh my god, what are you doing? I could see it. That argument is totally legit that you just said.
Yeah.
You know, you paid all this money, you have them here playing for the game you want. But I can also see like they also got trust in their players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And I just so I can't knock it too much.
Yeah.
I can go either way.
Yeah, me too.
I could see it both ways.
I can.
Another narrative that's been that people are talking about is the cotton wool, the wrapping around, the protecting of the players.
Yeah, and how it isn't effective.
Not playing them for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, how it isn't effective.
It's not. I guess it isn't effective, but at the same time, I always go back to like the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because Andy Farrell did the opposite.
Mm.
He played the same team every fucking game.
Yeah.
And then everyone criticized him for that.
Yeah, and
right?
it didn't work.
And it didn't work.
And I'll tell you another thing. The year after the World Cup, we had Ireland and France in the Six Nations, and it was billed to be the clash of the Titans. Mm-hmm. And Ireland stomped on France, and everyone was saying it's because Ireland are rested, and France are in this horrifically attritional league where they play every week forever.
Yeah.
And they looked knackered. Mm-hmm. They really looked knackered. Obviously, there's a middle ground. Obviously, you can't send out an entirely non-starter team against the Scarlets and lose and go, what the fuck happened there? You have to maintain some continuity of your first team, right?
Yeah, you got to have at least. I don't,
because if they always laugh at teams when they get beaten. They go, we sent a B team, we sent a C team. It's like, well, if you had 1 or 2 or 3 players from your starters, you can rotate within a B and a C team, right?
Regardless if it works or doesn't work generally in rugby,
yeah,
it doesn't work in Leinster.
It doesn't, no.
And it's clearly like this system of ultra resting these players.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
But what I'm trying to say is there's a way to make it work. Don't rest the entire fucking starting team.
Yes, that's true.
Rest 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
There's a way to rotate it properly. It's so dramatic to rest every single starter, get beaten by the Scarlets. Your B team are now the guys who are going to be on the bench for the big game. Mm-hmm. They've lost their confidence. They think I'm not as good as that guy ahead of me. When they come on, they're less effective. And the guy who should have been playing the week before has rested too much. He hasn't played enough high-intensity rugby recently. So when he comes up against Henry Pollock, who's listening to fucking ska music in his headphones and chewing Haribos and running rings around you, you're like, Jesus Christ, this kid's good and fast and scary, right? I wasn't ready for this because I didn't play last week. There's a middle ground. And they either go, everyone's playing every game forever, or we're putting out our entire academy, which is pretty fucking big, by the way, you know, against a team we don't respect. They showed respect. They didn't show respect to either opponent. And guess what happened? You know?
The spending. Yeah. The spending between the difference. Like, Northampton had so much against them in this fucking game.
And we haven't even talked about the fact it was a home game in a neutral venue yet.
It was a home game in a neutral venue. It was in Dublin.
In the fucking Aviva.
And it's just, oh man, there's just so many things you could talk about this game. The rest of the players, do you know that, like, James Lowe this year has played more games for Ireland than he has for Leinster?
Doesn't surprise me. That's not unusual, though. Sam Warburton rarely played for Cardiff. Played much more for Wales.
It's just, yeah, there's just so many red flags all over the place.
Yeah, there is.
But Northampton, man.
Yeah.
Northampton, like, I don't know. I can't, like, when you look at the stats for this game,
Yeah.
when you watch the game,
Yeah.
when you just look at everything around the game,
Yeah.
like, Northampton, like, still shouldn't have won this game. So I'm just like, so fucking, like, everyone's like, oh, they played their hearts out. Man, they got battered. They got fucking battered throughout that game. And they got their asses fucking kicked in that game. The possession was like 67 to 30, or 60 something to like 40 or 60-40.
That's a bit of a red herring, though. We know that a team doesn't need possession to win games.
No.
The All Blacks will show you that.
When they had their fucking chances,
they took them.
They took them.
And they weren't like interceptions either. They were planned strike moves. That one where Pollock runs around Prendergast like a winger, like runs around him with plenty of room.
There was just every opportunity they got,
they took it.
And they made something out of it.
They planned that game meticulously. Like every single time they scored, that was straight off, we did our fucking homework on you. We know how to beat you, you know?
Like Leinster, I just never seen such a collapse of a team, such a quality team. And they missed, do you know they missed 40 tackles?
I heard that, yeah.
They only got like 71% of their tackles.
Yeah, here's my dog tackling a door. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, missing 40 fucking tackles.
That's bad. That is bad. Yeah.
And Northampton just like, yeah, you know what? They had the perfect game plan, but they also like took like fucking 14 penalties. They took 3 yellow cards in this game.
They did.
Like, how can you not? Like, they were trying to get Leinster through. Like, they were trying to lose this game.
There were times in that game where I was thinking, this is where Leinster they don't just put you to bed, they put you to death.
Yes.
Like, they'll score 30 points. Yeah, you're right. There was several cards, and even right at the end, you know, when they were down to 14, there was times where I was like, hang on, this is exactly what Leinster do to teams week in, week out.
Yeah.
Is be clinical and score 3 or 4 tries sometimes in a 20-minute period when you're down, you know, when you're down a player. You know, the thing about Northampton is, defensively, they did their homework as well. They know what Leinster are going to do in attack. They didn't blitz. They would just send one lunatic at them quickly to shut down the initial pass. Because, you know, Squidge was saying this, Prendergast's strength is just his distribution, right?
Yeah.
Just quick out there. If you can shut him down, that's half of their game plan gone. And the same is true in reverse. They know that Leinster's system is very blitz-based.
Which it wasn't.
And actually, it wasn't.
For some reason, Leinster decided, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to do this.
Yeah, because their first team had 2 weeks off.
Yeah, they were like tired.
I'm a bit tired, yeah. You need that intensity. You need that week in, week out in the fucking trenches to make your team feel like they're made of iron, you know? And it did look like they just, you know, they'd come back from a massage. You know, one of the boys had just finished giving him a foot bath. And then he's like, you know, it felt very prima donna walking onto the field to just finish the job. It felt arrogant, you know? They underestimated them. They really underestimated them.
The game, the game that Leinster played, how they played screams arrogance.
It does, doesn't it?
It screams like they felt like they already won this game.
It did. Yeah, the selection and the way they played, the way they defended. Unless, you know, it was a close game, actually. It was only 3 points. And there was, like you said, there were several times where Leinster had the opportunity to win. People have talked this to death, so I'll mention it briefly, but when they turned down 3 points to make it a draw right at the end, that was the point where you think, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Like, you're not respecting your opponent. You're behind, you've got minutes left, and you don't take the draw? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
It felt like the whole time, the whole game, Leinster, for not 1 second, thought they were going to lose this game.
Yeah.
They just were playing it like it was no big deal.
It was like they could buy another 10 minutes at the end or something. You know, so don't worry, we'll get more time.
You mean we're out of time?
No, we can't be. We've got time.
Yeah.
No, don't worry, we haven't even bought Jody Barton yet this time.
it's like there was just no urgency.
Yeah.
It was strange.
Yeah.
And it just screams like just really makes you like look at that, and the only thing you can think of is arrogance.
Yeah, it's hard not to say that word. And I genuinely am trying to be objective, although there's a lot of Schadenfreude or whatever.
Also, you have to give Northampton
Massive fucking credit.
Man, they came in with you know what? You know what won this game, I think, too?
Game plan.
Coaching and game planning.
Game plan won it.
They targeted Prendergast
Oh, yeah.
all fucking game.
Yeah, they did.
Offensively and defensively.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And you're right. They kind of shut down. They kind of like just shut down a major part of the attack where they were just constantly.
They sent a missile at him every time.
Leinster were just constantly having to kick the ball away.
They were.
To get some territory because they just couldn't get anything going on attack.
Yeah. And to be fair, like Leinster still scored some nice tries, actually. Still got those silky hands. Still got that really quick distribution.
And this game was really exposing for Prendergast. I think he got exposed in this game more than any other game I've seen. It just, you can't, it was just like Prendergast comes on the scene, right? He starts playing. He's playing all these games like this guy's the best ever.
I never thought that.
Playing in the Six Nations, right? He had some good moments. He had some bad moments.
Yeah.
But you're not worried like, oh, he's just going to get even better.
Right.
Right? Then the other games come on and you're like, ugh, he keeps playing some more. And you're like, okay, his defense needs some work.
Yeah.
You know,
which a lot of backs, that's the case in the early career.
But he's still got so much potential. And then this game comes along.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, like he is not up to, defensively, he is not at the level he needs to be.
And are you going to say yes? Or are you going to say... Because I remember when James Lowe, people criticized him for being defensively weak.
Yeah, and you know what? He
fucking worked on it.
They put him on a timeout.
Yeah, they did. And he came back and he was better.
Andy Farrell grounded him.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, you go back to your room.
Yeah.
And you sit down and you think about what you did.
Take this tackle back home. You practice in your garden until you can fucking hit people.
He needs that. I think he needs to... Because, man, there's... he is soft. Like he literally doesn't want it. Like he doesn't want it. Like that Henry Pollock try.
Yeah.
He had all the Prendergast had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And the speed.
Yeah.
To take him out. He could have got right in front of him. He didn't even have to tackle him. He could have just fucking stood in front of him.
And he slides off the side of his hip.
Yeah. Except he purposely fucking tries to tackle him with one arm.
Yeah.
Like put your body in there.
It looked like a little sideways dive, didn't it?
There's not a fucking 10 in professional rugby that probably wouldn't have made that tackle.
Even little Sam Costello, I feel like would have made a better
Lloyd,
effort. Yeah.
I think he's a shitty tackler. He would have made that tackle.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. I've heard two. Sorry, go on.
Nope. Go ahead.
So there's two stories around that moment in the game. One is Sam Prendergast is not just shit at tackling; he looks a bit scared. Mm-hmm. The other is how many flankers are there that can outpace a back? Right?
He didn't outpace him.
He did outpace him.
No, he didn't. He ran. It was the way that Prendergast ran at him.
And that's
he literally ran and then tried to get him he was trying to take the least amount of impact as possible because he literally had the time and space to get directly in front of Pollock, and he didn't.
I think
that's the worst part about it.
I think that's the thing. You've got the Northampton perspective, which is holy fuck, Henry Pollock is one of the fastest flankers in the world. Versus the Irish perspective is Jesus Christ, Sam Prendergast's technique and positioning is terrible.
Yeah,
he should have got him every day.
There was nothing in his way for him not to get in front of Pollock, and he didn't. He tried to wrap him with his arm. He didn't want that body.
I agree that he looked.
You can watch that play 1,000 times and see where Prendergast is. He could have kept up with him.
Yeah,
but he just kind of. He's like, oh, he got away. He
sideways dived at him. Yeah. Oh no, I missed it. Someone else will take care of that. Hugo Keenan.
Keenan,
can you help?
How are you?
Keenan, can you help?
It was just. You know, when you see him go into contact, when he has to make a tackle, he does this all the time. He moves his body out of the tackle.
Yeah.
And he tries to get them with his arm. Like he completely moves his body out of harm's way.
It's like the body language is like faking being a rugby player at that minute in time, isn't it? It's like, I don't want this to happen to me. I'm not into it.
And you know where I see this a lot? When I'm coaching
amateur
the kids,
rugby.
When I'm coaching the kids at high school,
I have been in that position.
They move they move themselves out of the way of the tackle,
but
and try
just
to tackle
put the top half of their body in the way.
Not even that, their arms.
Yeah.
They're trying to tackle with their arm. They're trying to magically wrap this guy, and your one arm is going to stop
like you're going to clothesline a guy at the waist who's got 30 pounds and you're just running at full speed. Like it's not happening. You're just going to rip your arm off.
It's you have to get in front of that tackle.
Yeah. And even if you don't, at least use the angle correctly.
You know what? Look at a good example of this is a guy who doesn't have the power that does this all the time.
Yeah.
Marcus Smith.
Yes.
Look at him after that fucking Fijian game.
Beaten to shit.
Yeah. He
bleeding
looked like the
out of every
guy,
orifice. Yeah.
His face looked like the guy from the Goonies. Like, he was so fucked up. And if you watch him and big guys run at him, he puts his full body in front of the guy.
Yeah.
And
even if it's just to slow him down.
Yes.
You know,
and guys,
because that works as well. Slowing
guys
a guy
will
down
run over him, but they have to stop. They slow down now, or he slows them down enough, or he'll make the tackle.
Yeah,
right. But there's lots of times where he would just get ran over.
Yeah,
but it was enough. He stopped the run enough,
so the rest of the guys could get them, finish it off.
Yes,
yeah,
and
which is a valid strategy.
Yes,
if you're not a big guy, you know,
100%, because he's a small guy.
Because you're showing you've done everything possible within your power.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. The smallest man can tackle the biggest man, but not
at
all the time.
Professional rugby,
not
like
all the time.
A large lock should every time run over Marcus Smith.
And why would you not if he's half your size? Right?
He's a professional player. He's used to running through forwards.
Yeah.
When a guy like Marcus Smith comes up, if he makes that tackle,
he's excited to run through him.
He's excelling above his weight. And then when Marcus Smith, he does the right thing. He puts his body on the line.
Yeah.
He gets in front of that tackle.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't make that tackle, at least he slows that guy down. Prendergast doesn't do that.
No.
He literally moves his body
got a
out of
pinky
danger.
on him, hasn't he?
Yeah, and that's just the most
and
concerning
the crazy thing about Prendergast is he's not small. He's 6 foot something.
Yeah.
He's lanky.
He's not brave. He's not
That's
brave.
what it feels like to me. It feels like a guy, and you know, I hate to say I told you so to all the people who was like, he's the fucking... Jack Crowley would have made that fucking tackle. Jack Crowley would have made that tackle every fucking day.
Yeah,
you know?
Jack Crowley would have made that tackle.
And a bunch of others in that game.
There's a lot. I think I don't think there's a professional 10 that's as afraid of Prendergast that is as terrified of tackling as Prendergast.
And I do feel bad for him because, like, I agree with you that he has got a lot of the right things from in abundance. But you know, the problem is when you put pressure. This happened to Sam Davis in Wales, IRB Junior Player of the Year. We were like, Jesus has come home. And he just wasn't. We put too much pressure on him, you know. Same thing's happening right now. This kid has had the best pack in club rugby in front of him, and he's made to look incredible. He's had the best pack in world rugby at times in front of him, and he's made to look incredible. And he is a very good, talented player. But if you put all your hopes and dreams in one, basically child, you're going to get let down, right? Like,
yeah, you were. Ireland was so horny to make this guy happen.
Yeah.
To make him work.
Yeah.
And the strange thing about Prendergast too is when he plays with the ball, he plays it at the line.
Yeah.
So
it's like he seems like a brave player.
No. He's not afraid at all to take a hit.
No, he's not.
He's not afraid. So he's not afraid at all to take a hit.
Yeah.
He's probably like one of the best distributors of the ball, probably in the Northern Hemisphere, which is sad because you have this guy who's potentially could be like a great.
Yeah. It's like having the fastest man in the world with no arms, isn't it?
But his defensive work is just so poor. You can't hide. You can't at top level rugby. You can't hide a guy like that.
Would Ross Byrne have changed that game?
No, I don't think Ross Byrne. Ross Byrne is not as slick as Prendergast. Prendergast can read the field really well.
Yeah, he can.
He positions himself
His
really well.
His rugby IQ is very good,
He picks the players in space. Like, his IQ is high.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
His attack is incredible. His boot, placing the ball on the field where he wants it, is incredible. Like, Ross Byrne just doesn't have that. Ross Byrne would be defensively better.
Yeah.
Jack Crowley would be defensively better.
Yeah.
Right? But what Prendergast brings with his ball in hand is why you see Leinster continuously using him. Why Ireland are so horny to use him, because he's just at an elite level.
Yeah.
He's such a night and day.
His little skill tree, you know, that circle with all the stats?
Yeah.
His is a big fucking triangle towards attack and then a big inverted triangle in his defense. Look what you've done, you dickhead. You made me talk about Irish 10s for 20 minutes again.
And
How have you done this?
This is the thing too, because like I know for a while now, everyone's like, "Oh, Prendergast is a Lions guy."
I've not said that once.
And
no, he's just played himself out of it.
I think he needs to sit at home.
Yeah.
The person that does need to go on the Lions too, that's probably
Finn Smith.
Finn Smith.
I want every single Lion, it's 10, to either have the name Finn or Smith in their name. Because we can have a Finn Russell, a Finn Smith, and a Marcus Smith. Every base covered. Don't need to worry about it.
He's brave.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's young.
He's a smooth operator
He
also.
is a classy player, isn't he?
And he's good looking.
Yeah. He's good looking. No, it's one of the prerequisites.
It is a prerequisite.
It
You
is
have
a
to be a
prerequisite.
good looking guy.
Yeah.
And he's a good looking kid for being a 10. And that's one of the most important things in my books.
Honestly, being in Finn Smith's shoes in that game where you don't
He must have felt so good.
He must have felt. But the thing is, right, you're in Northampton. Everyone in the world is going, you're not even going to score a point, you fucking losers. Stay home. We said that. We fucking said that. He still outplayed Sam Prendergast with a quarter of the budget, no expectation, away from home, and he played better than Prendergast. Like for me, that was all the evidence you'll ever need of who's the better 10. He had nothing going for him, and he fucking killed it.
Yeah,
you know, Sam Prendergast. Every game he's played in his life, he's been with one of the best teams in the world.
I just haven't seen a 10 put his hand up. Like that was a hand up. Like,
and you know, Marcus Smith hasn't had as good a season as he did the season before, in my opinion. I think Finn Smith's just leapfrogged him, you know?
It's his style.
Yeah.
Like Finn Smith.
He's the modern 10, isn't he?
He's really good at he's really good at involving his players. He's really good at like finding those players to involve them correctly into the play.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Marcus Smith is he's more chaos.
Marcus Smith
would be a good 10 in Super Rugby.
Marcus Smith would be an excellent sevens player. Just give him the ball. He fucking wants to score.
He'd be a good sevens player, but
he wants to break that line and score.
If you put him in Super Rugby, he would excel there because they play a style that like he would excel.
Attack.
He's like because you know he reminds me of Damian McKenzie.
Yeah. Like he's a leaf on the wind.
Yeah.
Don't
he just
try
gets
and
that
control
ball
him.
and all of a sudden, boom, he's just like
he's just
accelerates super fast and he's making all these crazy decisions. And like the players around him are just not. They're not, especially at Harlequins and in England. They're not prepared to
support that break.
Yeah, they're not.
Which Kiwis are, to be fair. Kiwis are always prepared to support a break, you know.
Yeah,
and that's why
they're always hunting for us. Like he would be perfect in a Super Rugby team.
Yeah, that's
just because the style of play.
Yeah,
like if he was playing in New Zealand, I bet you anything he'd be in All Black.
Oh yeah,
because he would be exactly what they were looking for.
Not least because the Kiwis don't exactly have 10 nailed down right now, you know. So yeah, I agree.
But Finn Smith, especially because of the pressure that Leinster was putting on them the whole time.
Yeah.
Finn Smith, that was an incredible, just.
It was mature,
coming out of his
it?
shell.
It was a mature performance. He wasn't like erratic or anything. He was just doing everything he needs to do, being cool, and then being like after the game, everyone wrote us off. Fuck you, everyone. Good night. You know, loved it.
Yeah, they have something special with Finn Smith.
Yeah.
And that Henry Pollock kid.
Yeah.
They got a young team.
They do.
They kind of are giving me Exeter vibes from last year.
The difference, I think, is a lot of what's exciting about them is their backs. Whereas when Exeter were winning Europe,
it was the forwards.
It was the forwards who were because Exeter mauled almost every try throughout that season, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were really good at it. It was like day to try and stop us, right?
Yeah.
Do something. This time, Northampton, after when they won the Prem last year, was it? They went from a team which had Courtney Laws, guys like that, just bulldozers, to being almost like the new Harlequins on the block, you know? Like, we'll run it, the new Bristol on the block. We'll run it from anywhere. We've got a really good attack. But now they feel like a rounded team. And let's not forget, that wasn't the best team they can put out this weekend. They've still got a lot of injuries. I think probably 4 serious injuries. So it's an impressive win. If they can get a couple more guys back for the next game against Bordeaux...
Oh, Northampton have to win this tournament.
They do now. They fucking better win it.
Okay, you guys put everything into this fucking game.
Yeah.
You better not England it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's giving me that England
when
they beat
like you played your final in the semi-final.
Like
100%.
they already played their final.
Yeah.
Like they fucking better show up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
When I get to Cardiff
and
I'm at that game, you motherfuckers better play.
I agree.
Like you better fucking burn games. I'm gonna be.
You don't knock
so
Leinster
pissed.
out and take a beating off Bordeaux. You just don't do that to me.
Oh man, I'll be fucking
paid a lot of money for this
pissed.
ticket. You better fucking win now.
Yeah, I
was excited to see James Lowe's thighs in person. You fucked it for me, so you better fucking win.
Because now we're at like the 2 teams that are playing in the final, the 2 teams I wasn't expecting to see.
100%.
And
no, I don't think anyone was.
And I didn't really care to see. So I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Like
you
now,
better impress me now.
You better fucking impress. Like you just.
We're like a couple of Roman senators, and we like fucking
they don't need to win,
me.
But they need to be.
There needs to be a game.
point in the game where I think hey, they might have it.
Yeah,
they might take this game.
Yeah, I need to feel alive after the amount of money we've spent to go to Cardiff to watch these fucking games.
Because if it's Louis, like, what's his name? Louis Belly Berry Belly.
Louis
kid,
Belly Berries.
Yeah, if he just goes on a try-fucking-a-thon.
Which he does every week.
Yeah, I'm going to be so pissed.
Have you seen... Speaking of that, let's go on to the next game. We can come back because I still feel like we have feelings about the Leinster-Northampton game. But
yeah.
we watched Toulouse-Bordeaux together.
Yeah.
Held hands, cried.
That
was a fuck of a game, though, to start with.
Yes.
That was a fuck of a game.
To give Toulouse some credit,
they were missing half a team.
They were missing some fucking key guys.
Yeah, they are.
And
yeah.
man, like
not
injuries,
least Dupont. Yeah,
injuries robbed us.
Yeah.
Fucking teams like just shitty game plan and not showing up to work. Like it just Toulouse were missing like a bunch of guys.
Because it was, Bordeaux in the end, that scoreline looked comfortable, didn't it? But from the first whistle, that game was breathless and high skill. That was like I've seen World Cup quarterfinals and semifinals and finals that were less intense than that. Genuinely, that was a mental game. The skill on display was insane. The speed, the quickness to every ruck, the speed of ball to the backs, everything about it was just pure skill and speed. And despite the scoreline, Toulouse just didn't quite execute a couple of times, and Bordeaux did a couple of times, and it made it look a bit lopsided. I think Bordeaux, by the last half an hour, kind of had their boot on the throat, but I fucking enjoyed every second of that game.
There was large parts of the game where I felt that Toulouse were like surviving.
Definitely in the second half, I thought they were just clinging on and they were just stopping.
Like it just you slowly started seeing Toulouse kind of fade.
Yeah, I agree.
They had some bursts, they had some moments of excitement, but there was just too many guys missing.
They were.
Like having Thomas Ramos not there.
Yeah.
Big. Dupont, they were missing him huge.
Yeah.
Fucking Blair Kinghorn.
Yeah.
Like those are three players that would have changed the game.
Could. I mean, Dupont wins games.
They were the guys that they needed to get over the line. They were those guys that they needed to shore up the back to get the points. Like those are the points guys that were missing. Yeah,
because on the other side of that, there was that Biel Bellery Barry break, and it was a little switch pass with, I think it was, the fuck's the 10? Jalibert? That switch they did on the wing, like, holy shit. That was the moment I was like, okay, if you miss your star players, that's what you miss out on. Because right now I'm seeing a masterclass in, cutting open a defense. It was unreal.
Because the Toulouse pack was really doing all the work.
Yeah, and you could sort of tell they wanted to keep it in the middle of the field by the end, didn't they? Because they were a bit tired and they knew they were relying on their forwards. But Bordeaux just had such a command at that point that they were able to just do what they wanted with the game, and it showed, right? But
Bordeaux really gave me Glasgow Warrior vibes.
How so?
They're just like their back line in Bordeaux is just
fucking lightning. Yeah.
Like Panot, Belly.
Yeah.
Just Jalibert.
Yeah.
Fuck these guys. Luku.
Yeah.
Maxime Luku.
Oh, he had a game as well.
How
he had a game.
old is this guy?
He looks as old as Jason Statham is now. He just looks like Jason Statham. Jason,
all the time.
Can't even speak. Yeah.
He looks like if Jason Statham went vegan.
Statham.
Like it's just like
Yeah, he does.
But he's like that guy. He he was good all game.
He was very, very good. Yeah, he was very good. And at a time when people were saying, when France were using him, it was like, oh, don't even miss Dupont that much because this guy's fucking.
Well, no, Luka plays for Bordeaux.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm talking about the France games when Luku covered for Dupont. People were like, actually, we don't miss Dupont that much. Do you know what I mean? Like he's that good.
He really brings it. But that game looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
Like I would not want to play.
It looked mental, didn't it? And French games have that because the size of their forwards compared to other countries, like they're just massive, aren't they?
When you're watching this game, all I was thinking when I was watching this game is, how the fuck is Northampton going to deal with any of this? Like, what are they supposed to do?
Homework. They're good at homework.
Because
they're good at homework.
Yes, they beat Leinster, but you gotta remember Leinster was fucking kicking their ass that whole game.
And now you're gonna watch a different game.
You're gonna bring in.
You're making it sound like Leinster shot themselves in the foot.
They did. They fucking 100% did.
Well, I don't.
They made wrong decisions. They didn't go for points when they should have took it. They were soft on the tackling. Like, they had all the possession.
Yeah. Not all of it.
They missed 40 tackles.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Look at the stats. When you look at the stats and you're like, who won this game?
I remember us talking 2 weeks ago, though, and saying no one's touching Leinster this year. This is
No
the
one
fucking
was.
year.
They should have fucking beat Northampton.
I guess the point is, a game
That's
of
why
rugby.
I'm worried about this game. If Northampton convincingly fucking
gaslit you.
beat the shit out of them,
Yeah.
and like was probably, or if they had like, if their pack was really fucking the force that like really like made the difference.
Yeah.
Like
Well, put it this
Northampton
way.
took their opportunities,
They did.
right?
But they scored 37 points against Leinster.
Yes.
That you could repeat that 10 times. That is people don't do that. Especially Leinster have lost 3 times, right? And to beat Leinster by 37 points, let alone beat them, is they deserve massive credit for that. So I don't want any talk. I'm shutting it down. Don't want any talk about Northampton being they're a good fucking team, right? They're a good rugby team. They deserve that win.
Well, okay, whatever you think is.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is that Northampton was getting their fucking ass pounded that whole game. They survived it and won.
Right.
And now I'm thinking, as a ticket holder, I was like, holy fuck, how are they gonna fucking how are they going to fucking beat any of these teams? How are they going to do this? How are they going to beat any of these teams?
My point is,
because I was thinking when Leinster got to the final, now it's like I would put Bordeaux or Toulouse as the favorite to win that game.
Well, only because Leinster lost, though.
No, if Leinster won, and they went to that final, I still think those those top 14 teams, would have the edge. Those teams are fucking brick hard good. And they have everything. They have fucking everything that a rugby team would want.
It's almost better that Bordeaux got through because they do have a fully fit team, right?
They do have a fully fit team.
Yeah.
Their forward pack is not the most powerful forward pack.
Not compared to Leinster and Toulouse.
Yes. Toulouse, and you have to say Toulouse's pack was keeping Toulouse in that game.
That is a big pack.
Yeah. They were literally keeping that they were doing all they could to keep that fucking...
All that to say, right, the point I wanted to make about it was, at the end of the day, it's 15 men versus 15 men. And we are shit at predicting rugby. We are, right? Because of... And there's evidence on our side. They fucking nilled Glasgow and Harlequins, Leinster did. But at the end of the day, you can beat anyone if you're Northampton, right? You can. They proved that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a bit of copium because I feel like I feel like I was robbed of the 2 titans of Europe going head to head, and that's what I wanted to be paying for. I did not expect Northampton to be in this final. Having said that, the manner in which they beat Leinster made me believe they can beat Bordeaux.
No, not a chance. Not a fucking chance.
I do think Bordeaux will win.
You're watching,
I do think Bordeaux will win.
No.
I do think Bordeaux will win. But I do think Northampton will do their homework.
I really hope Northampton bring a game.
Yeah.
I give them 0 chance to win this game.
I think that's where we're disagreeing, isn't it? Because you just have no hope for this final. But you're a pessimist and I'm an optimist.
Yeah, you're like, oh
yeah.
Northampton.
Yeah. I believe in Harvey Dent, This is going to happen. They're going to do their homework. They're going to go home and do a group project on how to find out some weaknesses. It's hard though because I'm looking at that Bordeaux team and they don't have a Sam Prendergast size hole in their defense, do they?
No.
So
they don't. That's the thing.
There's no homework you can do on that.
They didn't have a fucking 2,000-year-old Keane Healy starting the game.
Do you want to talk about that?
Like going up and just like coming off at night. Like he looked fucking knackered right from the start. He must have been injured. He must have He must have got in there and then they're like, just go as long as you can.
I heard Dan Coles talk about this on his podcast just before you arrived.
What did he say?
Well, so people were saying, how dare you not start Jordie Barrett? How dare you not start Andrew Porter, who is, often the best loose head in Northern Hemisphere, maybe the world, right?
Because Keane Healy is usually the guy that closes out the game.
And on the Jordie Barrett thing, I get the frustration. And this one, as Dan Cole said, that's more likely an injury thing, right? That's more likely that Porter's like, I'm not 100%. You play as much as you can, then I'll come on. Turns out
that's what I was thinking,
and that's kind of what happened. Actually,
that's what I was thinking was happening there.
So that one's a bit more forgivable. But let's not forget Leinster, because of the way they rotate and rest, rarely have injuries.
And if he was injured, put another prop in there. If he was carrying an injury or he was kind of like not up to snuff.
Yeah.
Where was what's his name? He was even playing for Ireland in the Six Nations. Clark Thompson, maybe
Thomas Clarkson, Jeremy Clarkson,
something like that. Something around his name's somewhere around there.
Yeah.
His lines there. Like, where the fuck was he?
Yeah.
Or was he the tight head? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like, what the fuck? Like, if he's like, oh yeah, I could probably give you a couple minutes. I'll put in a good shift. All right, let's do you instead.
You know how it's like at that level of competition, you always want to play, and the physio will be honest with you, and you'll be honest with the physio. But at the end of the day, you've got another opportunity to win. And Cian Healy has won in Europe. Let's not forget. He knows what this is, right?
Yeah.
And he's actually played a lot this season. Mm-hmm. He actually has. And he played the week before. So, like, he is not only playing enough, you know he can do this. And yeah, he's old, but as you say all the time, props just age like fine wine. But he did look knackered, and then Porter did come on probably a lot earlier than anyone would have liked. But the point is, this one I'm not as pissed off about it as I would have been if I'm a Leinster fan about the Geordie Barrett thing. This one's obviously an injury thing. We're just not used to Leinster having injuries, right? They don't get fucking injuries because they rotate effectively.
Yeah, they were missing Furlong for like a good portion of the season.
They were, but one injury compared to every other team in every other league, where they often have three key players missing.
You
right?
usually have a completely healthy team.
Yeah, and
but I'm just so shocked. More shocked.
You're upset. You've spent thousands of dollars on a trip, and now you have to watch Northampton and Bordeaux instead of Leinster and Toulouse.
If Northampton was a contender team, because they got nothing to play for right now, like. I would be like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
Like if they were top of the Prem sort of thing, yeah.
And if the Leinster game and Northampton game didn't go the way that it did, I would be like, okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, you know what? We got two fucking teams ready to play here.
Yeah.
Right? But Northampton really took advantage of their opportunities, and they fucking caught Leinster with their pants down like so many times.
Yeah.
Like fucking the possession. 57% to 43%.
That's not massively different.
Yeah. The last 10 minutes, 66% to 34%.
Yeah. But that's because Northampton are down a player as well, right?
200 passes to 94 passes.
Yeah.
126 ball carries versus 87 ball carries.
But when you've got a Henry Pollock, you only need one carry if he's running the length of the field,
no, I'm not saying that's a thing, yeah. 158 post-contact meters versus 100. Like, it was just like Leinster were like just throwing everything they could, and like they coughed up the ball a lot.
They did actually.
And you know what? They did that. They no, it wasn't them. It was fucking Munster. They almost looked like Munster when they lost to Northampton. Actually,
yeah, maybe it's Northampton then. I think Northampton, what they do defensively is effective because they know they're not going to be able to go 80 minutes on that level of blitzing. They just fire a missile at a guy, right? Like, you are going to run at this guy as fast as you can, shut the play down, then the rest of the defense come up and sort shit out.
Yes.
Right? And it's so effective against Leinster and I guess Munster as well, right? And it does force mistakes because if you're Sam Prendergast, you take it close to the line and you're a quick distributor, all of a sudden you negate that, right? You put pressure on him, he's going to throw a shitty pass. That's a knock on. And other people have said this, but I think it's worth repeating. The Leinster and Ireland structure is so structure based that they don't have a plan B, right? If you're Sam Prendergast and you were raised, like there's old Egyptians who walk on the slave's back. He doesn't have to lift a fucking finger,
no,
right? But he does have to follow a structure. Yeah. And as soon as that structure goes, he's like, "Fuck, I'm just."
Are they overcoached?
Yes, and they have been since Joe Schmidt in Ireland. They have been, and when it works because they are a well-oiled machine. But when it doesn't work, when you get under the skin, it was the same with Sexton. If Sexton had a bad day, Ireland had a bad day. It's the same thing, right? If you can get under the 10 skin in that kind of structure, you can rattle them and you can beat them, right? I think that's what Northampton did. But like I said earlier,
Glasgow fucking would have beat Leinster.
Why? You want the URC in there?
Well, I do want a URC team in there.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But I wish Glasgow should have done it. Should have beat Leinster. We should have been having this conversation with Glasgow.
We're much more used to that, aren't we?
I bet Glasgow would have fucking beat Northampton. Glasgow would have beat Northampton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Glasgow could have... if Glasgow was playing Bordeaux...
Yeah.
In a final...
Yeah.
I would still think the odds would be against them, but I wouldn't be so worried.
It's hard for me to say. I don't know. Because Glasgow are very similar to Northampton in that they I don't expect them to win, and they fucking do. But they'll definitely have letdowns. Like Northampton and Glasgow's domestic season is kind of nosediving, isn't it?
Because I give I would even put it. I would even say Cardiff would beat fucking Northampton, or that'd be a close game.
Well, Scarlets beat Leinster, so anything can fucking happen.
Yeah,
That's
that was
what.
like their fucking their
Well, whose fault
kids.
is that?
They went to the high school and picked up a bunch of kids and threw them on the field.
Still beat them,
right? But Cardiff, when they beat Munster, that was a legit win. They fronted up. Like they beat Munster.
Yeah, they did.
Right?
Yeah.
Munster's my favorite team.
Yeah.
Right? And they fucking clearly beat them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that was on the cheer. Like I would say Cardiff would even give Northampton a go.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just I'm just kind of I really wanted this. And and Leinster were just looking so good.
They were cooking, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were. That's why when, like I said, we said
because I
earlier,
don't need them to win. I don't care if they fucking win the Champions Cup or anything.
you just wanted to see them.
I wanted to see him, and I
Yeah.
wanted to see like a
You wanted
fucking
to see the
clash
blue
type.
machine.
I wanted to see two
Yeah.
of the top teams.
The Ultimate Reds versus the Ultimate Blues.
Yeah, go against each other. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, this is gonna be so good. And then one got injury fucked to oblivion.
Yeah.
And the other one just like fucking just didn't
Just
show up
shit
to
the
work.
bed.
This just didn't show up to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we're just not going to.
Again.
Yeah, it's just like over. Oh man, just ew.
So, do they fire Leo Cullen?
No, they're not gonna fire Leo Cullen.
No, but should they?
Should they?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I don't know. I guess if you go with the whole how they run the team,
Yeah.
how they wrap up the players and protect them.
Yeah. Because his selection is what is being criticized a lot.
What I think should really happen
Yeah.
is Leinster have proven over and over again and have fumbled the amount of Christmas gifts they get from Irish rugby. Like it's time to start sharing the wealth.
Yeah, they are the spoilt child of the Irish family.
And you know what, guys? Okay, we've given you everything to like do these jobs.
Yeah.
And you guys keep fucking it up.
Not just in Irish rugby, in world rugby.
Yeah, and I'm ready for like them to like do a real what they really need to do in Ireland instead of firing Leo Cullen.
Yeah.
Is distribute those players.
I think they need to make Leo Cullen go do his penance in Connacht for 2 years.
Yeah.
If you're that good, win with Connacht. Do it.
Because you have to remember the team we're looking at here. Like these guys have fucking dominated a lot of teams.
Yeah, and that's the
And
thing,
they're a
right?
fucking good team.
And that's the thing. To credit to Leinster because they have set that standard so fucking high this season and last season and the season before. It's shocking when they lose, right? Because
their
how could
systems
you
are
beat?
yeah.
They'd only lost 3. That was the fourth game they'd lost this season. That is mental.
Yeah, and
that is fucking mental. Third game, sorry.
Yeah, and they fucking like and their system
Yeah.
that they have, the style of play
Yeah.
is super effective.
It is.
They're a well coached team.
Very good. They're an all-court game. It's defensively, offensively, excellent.
Like I'd say like the Irish players, like there's some really good ones.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, like their system and their style and their cohesion,
Yeah.
make these players look better than they actually are.
And that's
Like I don't think you could throw a bunch of these players on different random teams and they would excel.
That's exactly how I feel about Prendergast because he has been in a very good team his entire career. As soon as Finn Smith shows up in a team that isn't expected to win away from home and he plays like that, you go, that's a good 10, right? And I agree with you. You're never going to see a Penno in an Irish team. You're never going to see a BLBRA in an Irish team because they're so structured and organized and it works, but you don't foster creativity. You're never going to see a Marcus Smith in an Irish team, right?
No. You probably wouldn't.
They're just too structured for that. Everything from birth, they are raised in these rugby academies to do it a certain way. And when it works, it really fucking works. And to be fair, you got to remember, Ireland isn't a big country. And their resources, as much as we say Leinster have a lot of money, it's not as strong economically as England or France are, right? So that they're doing as well as they're doing is really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But they do need to relax a bit, have a bit more creativity, push their players a bit harder, make people like Jameson Gibson Parkinson play every game through a season, right? Because if he's that good, he should be able to.
Yeah.
Right?
They should be playing more. And man, if Prendergast doesn't get his defense, like what are they going to do?
We'll just get Ross Byrne back. This is professional sport.
Because there's no one, like he is such a talent with the ball in hand.
Yeah.
There's no one like him.
Yeah.
Like Finn Smith's good, but he like is not as good as Prendergast when he has the ball in hand. Like
But I don't know.
Prendergast is
I
fucking
don't know.
miles better than
I
him.
think I disagree after what I saw on the weekend.
Defensively, like Finn Smith has it.
I think offensively he has it.
No, he's not better than Prendergast defensively. That guy is fucking great.
Mm.
Right? And they did a really good job of like he doesn't shy. He's not hiding in the offense.
Mm.
If Prendergast hid, like you know who hid, you know who hit a lot and paid for it, Joey Carberry.
Yeah.
He was a guy that they wanted him to play like a tough upfront game,
Yeah.
and he would always he was a guy that hid in the offense.
Speaking of Joey Carberry, guess who we saw this weekend playing rugby
Yeah,
in France
Yeah.
for a French team?
yeah, we'll see him.
We'll see Joey Carberry.
Yeah, he might win a trophy.
So who's going to have the last laugh now, eh?
He's gonna have the last laugh.
Hiding over there. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just such a this might take down Prendergast's defensive work might take down his whole career.
Yeah.
Because he'll be like, yeah, you're
No one's entitled to stardom though. This is professional sport.
Yeah.
If you suck enough, like you could be. I remember in sevens they had that American guy Carlin Isles out for a bit, and if anyone remembers Carlin Isles, he was a sprinter, an Olympic sprinter, right? And the USA sevens would just give him the ball, and he would fucking sprint through everyone and score some incredible tries by pure pace.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't last that long, and he didn't make it on the international stages effectively because he was a one-trick pony. It was a fucking good trick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that's the case with Prendergast because you could be as good as attacking as he is, but if you can't defend, you're not worth anything, are you?
No.
You're actually not.
And it
you
just
know?
kills
It's half
the
game.
whole-
It's half the game.
It kills the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like another player,
You're a walking target, and Northampton proved that, right?
a player who just became a complete liability on defense. Another Irish player. Oh fuck, the Ulster wing guy,
Stockdale.
Jacob Stockdale,
Yeah, who's
Jacob
having a hell of a season, by
yeah,
the way.
he's having a
Yeah.
hell of a season.
Yeah.
But he was just a huge
He was a
defensive
hole.
liability. He was a hole.
Yeah,
And that cost him his spot in Ireland.
it did.
He completely lost the trust of the coaches.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And it sucked because he was, when he had the ball in hand,
Electric.
electric,
Yeah,
amazing. He's also good in the air
Yeah.
too. And he's tall,
Yeah.
fast,
Big guy.
but he just was like,
Yeah,
and
he
it
had
wasn't
George
like-
North vibes because he was fucking huge for a winger. Still is.
and he wasn't like the it wasn't that he was like afraid of. It wasn't that he was afraid of tackling.
No.
He was just never in the right place.
He just couldn't.
He was just always out of position.
just couldn't get low and quick enough to make the tackle. Could he?
He couldn't. His defensive reading was shit
Yeah.
because he was never where he was supposed to be.
Yeah. Do you know who had that but on a different path was Johnny May? Johnny May was a lot of the things Stockdale is not quite as big, but maybe a bit faster. In fact, Johnny May was the fastest guy in rugby at one point, I think I remember reading. And he was shite defensively when he started.
Yeah.
They did the same thing. They were like, fuck off, Johnny, learn how to tackle this bag. Came back and he was much better. And then he was, towards the end of his career, the complete winger. He was good defensively, right? Like, and George North was actually the same. He was quite shit defensively, but it was such a big unit, you couldn't not play him. So they were like, George, if you want to move to the center, which he eventually did, you got to work on your defense. He was never as good as he could have been defense, but he definitely got better, right? And I think Prendergast is that young that they will have guys investing time in him defensively. There's no reason why he can't improve, but he's now on a limited timeline, right? Because Leinster can't lose a semi-final of Champions Cup again because of him.
Well, it's just, yeah, it's a bad situation for him. It's a bad situation for the coaches because they want to play him because they know what he can produce.
Yeah.
But he's a liability.
Yeah.
I can't even think of another player that is just so like where his
His
offensive
stats are
so contrasting.
polar opposites.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
trying to think of a player where it's just like him.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone that's just where he's just like so good at one thing and then just so awful at another.
Johan Lloyd's very similar because he's actually a very good attacking 10. You know, he just doesn't play in very good teams. And I think that was the same, like defensively sometimes he just gets run over. He's not big enough, you know, but he's really electric in attack. There's lots of guys like that and there's lots of 10s like that, right? But there's so much pressure on him to be the guy and he's been elevated to that position that quickly that you've got about 6 months to figure it out or you're probably not the guy, you know, you're not
any
starting
team,
anymore.
Like, I don't know what Glasgow are doing. I don't know what the fuck Harlequins are doing. But if you put, like, all you got to do is shut down Prendergast and you got a good chance of winning.
Yeah.
Like, and if that's the case, if that's the case, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it just, you're fucked.
They found the soft underbelly a bit, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
You seem like a sad
Bad
man.
report card for Leinster. Ruined my dream trip. My Clash of Titans.
Well, we're still going.
And then Toulouse. I can't really blame Toulouse.
No.
Like they just have what a bad luck. What a fucking bad luck.
But they have kind of won it a lot. So, they're fine. They're fine. They can do with not winning the Champions Cup again for a year. They'll probably back next year. I wouldn't be surprised. Because La Rochelle, their story was incredible. It was a bit rags to riches.
It was.
Toulouse have been up there for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
There or thereabouts. And I'm sure they'll come back. All they need to do is have the best 9 in the world back and a couple other guys. They'll be just fine. Bordeaux were fucking good as well, though. Bordeaux were very, very good. So I'm excited to see them.
Man,
the human eel Penaud is going to be
it was
seen
just
in the flesh.
every player was just on 110% for Bordeaux.
Yeah. And they have to be. That's the thing. This run in now is every guy is your starter and is the best player in their position. Otherwise, you lose. That's just as simple as it is. Northampton, like you said earlier, I just don't want it to be a case of that was everything they had. That was hitting the nitro button, emptying the gas tank, a month of homework just to beat Leinster.
That's what I'm fucking
And then
worried
when they
about.
show up against Bordeaux, they're just like England in that final against South Africa where they were like, fuck, we beat New Zealand last week. We just can't be fucked this week. We are exhausted mentally and physically, right?
Yeah, because
So I hope it isn't that.
a fucking... Yeah, because they put their bodies on the line for everything.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
They fucking put their whole fucking everything they had on on the line. They fucking and they even made that game hard on themselves.
Yeah,
like they made it hard.
With the amount of cards they gave,
the amount of cards, the amount of penalties they were taking, they were fucking. But they,
they beat Leinster by 37 points though. Well, but with a scoreline of 37 points.
Yeah, so it's like fucking. And Northampton they have some players.
They do.
Right? And they got some guys on their team that are going to be names in the future. Right? Yeah. I could see full on Finn Smith being like the England 10 for a long time.
He's the new Owen Farrell.
He's like fucking 22 years old or something.
I think Pollock's only like 22 or 23 as well.
He's 20.
He's 20.
He's 20.
He's not a big guy.
Finn Smith might be 21 or 22.
Wow.
Like these guys are young.
Yeah.
Right? Like the whole and they're like it took look how long it took Marcus Smith to get onto the England team.
And he was playing, let's not forget though, he was playing behind Farrell and Ford.
Yeah.
But I think this is Finn Smith's spot forever if he wants it now. I think so.
Yeah. And I don't think I'm not saying that Marcus Smith is not as good as Finn Smith. I'm just saying Marcus Smith's style
is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we saw when they moved Marcus Smith to fullback, he was actually better. Right? Because he's got space. He's very, like you said, he's very Damien McKenzie. You give that guy the ball and space, he'll perform miracles. But in more structure with less time on the ball, maybe not as good. But Finn Smith is very fucking good. So
how does Northampton stop Bordeaux?
Well, they got to be fast, and they are fast.
They are fast.
They are fast. So I do think they can do that. I do think they can match him for pace. Let's not forget Tommy Freeman on Northampton.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's fucking incredible. He's almost as good as Penaud in terms of strike rate. That guy scores every fucking game. So I don't know if Furbank will be back, but this guy 15, he's called Ram. He was pretty good.
Just Ram. Dodge Ram on the back. Dodge Ram on the back there.
Yeah. Alex Mitchell, we haven't mentioned him once, but he's probably going on a Lions tour. So him and Luku, yeah, it's Luku. It's just about Luku. But I think Alex Mitchell is still in the top 5 9s in the world at the minute. So he's also very good. To be honest, the rest of the pack there, you had Langdon at hooker. I like him, but Davidson is the tight head, the loose head. Anyway, their pack isn't like it was a few years ago where you had guys like Courtney Laws in there and you were like, holy shit, that's a pack. They're good. They're very good, but they don't match up man-to-man with Bordeaux in the same way. But the backs, I think, they're not as good because you've got Penaud and BLBRA and stuff. But
Penaud might not play.
Oh,
he's in. Because he came off in that game.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did, didn't he? Yeah.
So he's on a day-to-day basis.
Oh wow.
So there's a chance they be Penaudless.
I don't know. That's funny.
Penniless.
I don't know. There was something there.
Penaudless.
There's something there.
Yeah. So they that's a little scary moment for them too. But oh man, they got so many good players on that team.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, my point is Northampton aren't anonymous. That guy, is it Fraser Dingwall, the centre?
Fraser Dingwall.
Dingwall. He's good. Anyway, their backs almost man for man are as good as Bordeaux's. Their forwards not as much, but clearly they can beat Leinster. So
yeah, they got
It's not over. It's not over. But I think long story short, I'm a Northampton fan for the next few weeks.
How many Pollocks?
Yeah.
How many tackles is Pollock's gonna do in that final?
He's gonna have to fucking do a few, isn't he?
He's gonna fucking. I'm gonna see 30 tackles in this fucking kid.
Yeah. I mean, he's you can see him though. He's like, even in the post-match interview, he's still got gas left in the tank.
Yeah.
He's just munching on Haribo's, listening to his ska punk, dancing around with his headband on. Like,
he's got 5 years of professional rugby left.
Yeah, he's
the
just
way
gonna
he
burn
plays
out.
He's got 5 years.
Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah. He's
Like,
gonna burn bright and hot for a few years.
Yeah. 5 years.
Yeah.
I give it the way he plays. Holy shit.
Yeah. We should calm down a bit and talk about URC to finish though. What do you think?
URC.
Yeah.
Did they even play? Was there games? What do you want to talk about the URC?
We don't have to actually. Do you know what? I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. You got anything
Why
else
did you
you want to
bring
talk
up
about?
the URC?
Well, because I feel like we've talked the fuck out of 2 games.
Yeah, we did. We fucking spent almost
It's about an hour, isn't it? Feels like an hour.
Let's end it up with a little bit of Wallabies chat.
Okay.
A little bit of
going over
Wallabies.
we're going down under to Wallabies Corner.
Because some big news came out of the Wallabies.
Okay.
Odd news.
Yeah.
They have announced their new head coach that's going to start in like 2 years.
Yeah, Joe Schmidt's doing another year.
Or
isn't
next year. He's going to come in next year.
he? Yeah, 2026.
Yeah.
Lethkith.
What? Let's kiss. Let's kiss. He's
Let's
coming in to
kiss.
give you a good old kiss.
He's coming to smooch some wallabies.
Hey guys, I'm just going to come give you
Give
guys
you
a little kiss.
Smooch. I'll give you a little kiss.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Let's kiss.
Yeah.
What? What?
What? Okay, first thing I want to say.
What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Wallabies, like Australian rugby, it has to be the worst rugby union in the fucking planet.
No, it's Wales. Because we're on the same timeline.
Yeah, but these guys don't make like fucking like continuously bad decisions like the Wallabies.
Yeah, we
do.
fucking do. Yeah, we fucking do.
These guys are worse.
No, they're not. They
Joe
beat
Schmidt's
us.
like, can you come work for us? Yeah, kind of. I guess I'll hang out for a little bit. What kind of investment is that?
It is like when you're texting your friends and one of them's like, oh, maybe I'll be there. I might be late. Like, okay, well, just commit or not. This is a big deal.
What was the fucking idea around that?
I think the thing is, Joe Schmidt has been very good at the Wallabies. Remember, a year ago, Wallabies were on the brink of being obscure in rugby.
Yes.
Not just bad, obscure. People are forgetting about them.
He's a quick fix.
Joe Schmidt fixed the Wallabies to the point where we were talking on this very show that we thought this would be the shittest Lions tour ever because Australia were looking useless. And now I'm excited again for the Lions tour.
They totally just hired him for that.
Maybe, but
I
it
think
worked.
that had
Maybe
been the only
yeah,
thinking.
it worked,
Can
though.
you just do the Lions tour?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Because
What's wrong with that?
I
wish we'd have done that with Gatland. I wish we'd have said to Gatland, get us through the next World Cup, then fuck off. Look what happened. He stank up the place, and we had to fire him.
Yeah, that was a bad. Yeah, they should have went for something. Like they needed something to ignite, like to spark something.
Yeah.
The Wallabies were looking for, but this is just it's the Wallabies. You're in Australia. Like you got no coaching talent.
I mean, Lethkith isn't.
Let's kiss.
He's not an obscure coach.
No, he's not an obscure coach.
And
Why didn't they choose him fucking 2 years ago?
Maybe they're sick of the rockstar coaches. They've had an Eddie Jones, they've had a Michael Checker, and now they've had a Joe Schmidt. They've been through the best coaches in the world, right? Now maybe they're ready for a little bit more easy ride.
The thing they should have done was not get rid of Dave Rennie.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the craziest decision.
And the thing is, why haven't Wales hired him yet? I would love me some Dave Rennie. I would love me some Dave Rennie.
Is he with the Highlanders now? He's like some director of rugby shit or something.
Yeah, and
like
he's probably happy.
Yeah,
he's probably.
But
happy
that was
there.
crazy. Like it's just like, yeah, we just want to get this temp guy. We're gonna get the substitute teacher to come in.
Yeah.
Right, and just the kids are all happy. Get movie
Well,
day.
he kind of did all right though. He came in and substituted the fuck out of it.
I'm not saying Joe Schmidt's a bad coach or anything. Like
Yeah.
he did do his job. He's doing it well.
Yeah.
It's just where's the future? Where's thinking about the future? Oh, don't worry about that right now. Like, shouldn't you have someone that's ready to implant and grow a system?
I think Les Kiss.
Now they're gonna start from scratch in a year before a fucking World Cup.
This guy knows Australia though. He was the Reds coach. I think he was the Waratahs coach as well. Like he knows what he's doing, and he knows Australian rugby. So
He's been around the block.
Yeah.
And he's coached. Fuck, he was even coaching at Ireland.
So what's your problem with him? Is what I'm asking.
With Les Kiss?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, what are you
I'm
angry
saying
about?
why wasn't he the coach? I'm saying why was he chosen as a coach like fucking 2 years ago when they hired Schmidt? Like, why hire a guy that doesn't have any kind of long-term ambition with the team?
Oh, I see. You're saying why did they hire Joe Schmidt at all? Because
This
they
is
knew
exactly
he was
like,
short term.
This is exactly like Leicester with Michael Cheika.
The difference is Joe Schmidt was successful.
The difference is Joe Schmidt can fix a team overnight.
Yeah, he can.
Right? And they were worried about the Lions tour. That's got to be the whole thing. They're like, okay, he can come in. He's proven that he can turn things around for teams. But I just think it's kind of odd for such an important team to just not invest in the future.
There's nothing wrong with a Band-Aid solution though. If the post Band-Aid, once the wound is healed, you bring in someone who's good. And I think Les Kiss is good.
Les Kiss, yes. I'm not saying anything bad about Les Kiss. I think it's a good decision, right? It's a great
problem with Les Kiss.
There's nothing wrong with him. I'm saying that he should have been there 2 years ago. He should have been with the team already. He should have been the head coach 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because now they're gonna.
Because you're thinking about that World Cup cycle, not the Lions tour, is what you're saying. You're thinking.
I'm thinking about the whole cycle. Because now he's gonna come in.
Yeah.
Schmidt's gonna go.
Yeah.
And now they got to flip this whole fucking thing on its head. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, now you got to just start this whole process all over again. Like there's no foundation laid.
I do think, I disagree with that foundation laid a bit though, because I think what Eddie Jones did was terrorize that squad.
Yes.
He just ripped it to shreds, put in a bunch of unknowns. And what Joe Schmidt did is he brought back the right people. No, actually, he did lose some forever. Losing Michael Hooper was sad. The way that guy's career ended was sad in an Australian jersey.
100%.
But what Joe Schmidt is, he's kind of steadied the ship. And there's a couple, and now they've got a kind of a skeleton of a team, which I like the look of. Guys like Bobby V, Robert Valentini. Like he's your Savia, right? He's your hard carrying back rower. You build things around that guy, and I think Les Kiss he's taking on a team which is like wounded, but recovering.
I'm not worried about Les Kiss, because look what he's done with the Reds.
Yeah.
The short time he's been with them, they're a dangerous team.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're a dangerous team.
Yeah.
Les Kiss a good coach.
Yeah.
I just think the decision should have been made that you should have brought in someone like him years ago, right? Because you're thinking about the future and just getting a Band-Aid coach is just not a good idea.
They've had 3 coaches in a row which have felt just like desperate and quick changes, getting rid of Rennie when he was doing okay.
Yeah. Also,
and then bringing in Eddie Jones and then getting rid of him almost as quickly was just bizarre.
And the thing with Dave Rennie was they were consistently getting better.
They were. Yeah.
Right? And he was right at that point where Aussie rugby was really not in a good spot.
Yeah.
Right? And he was still getting something out of these guys.
Yeah.
Right? And now it looks like Aussie rugby is getting better and better and better.
Yeah, they're doing okay in Super Rugby.
Yeah, they are.
The Brumbies are back where they belong at the top. Yeah.
So it's just that's just my thinking around it. Why wasn't he the coach in the first place?
I think where I'm coming at it from is I would love it if what happened to Australia happened to Wales. I would love it if we brought in a short-term coach to steady the ship while we search for a long-term successor, which is what Australia have done. We didn't do that, and now we're still in kind of a no man's land.
They still haven't even fucking
I know. Every time Australia do something, I'm like, can we do something? Can we do anything?
Okay, yeah, I agree with you.
That's
now.
where
Wales,
I'm coming from.
Wales is the worst.
Yeah, of course they are.
They have already picked their coach.
Yeah.
And they still have a coach.
Yeah, they've gone through 2 very good coaches in the time we've gone, we should probably get rid of Gatland.
Who is the Wales coach?
We don't know. We just know
who's
rumors.
going on the summer tours. This is a prime that's a prime opportunity to bring in a new coach.
Let's not forget.
Where are you guys going again?
I think we're going to Japan, yeah.
Yeah, so this is we're
going on an ayahuasca tour to Japan.
Yes. So this is a perfect time to bring in a new coach
with no pressure.
Yeah,
because you can't, lose a few more. Who fucking cares, right?
Yeah, and really like work with the team, get his fingers in the team, like get his fingers
100%.
in the dough.
But
start kneading that dough.
I don't want to criticize the WI. I do want to criticize him a lot.
Who's the coach?
We don't fucking know.
What's taking so
long?
long?
We don't know. Nobody knows, Steve.
Who's the director of rugby?
Yelling at me. I don't know. I've got no idea.
Who is it, Frank?
I'm sad about it. Just sad, okay? But yeah, everything you just said, I fucking agree with. I'm too sad. I forgot what I was going to say about it now. Yeah, we just the WIU just took over Cardiff. So in the time when they were about to announce it, they were like, "Shit, Cardiff are bankrupt. Better rescue that," and they did. And Cardiff have gone on to be pretty fucking good in that time. So they're doing something.
Yeah.
But it just feels like throwing a bucket of water over a forest fire. You know? Whereas Australia kind of like, baby steps in the right direction. Our head is still on fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're just like, we can't stop to think about a coach because there's so much mental shit going on all the time, So whatever. I love the Australia timeline. I love the Australian recovery timeline, and I'm jealous of it. I want less Kiss in Wales or whatever. I want something.
Less Kiss would be good for Wales.
Any fucking one would be good for Wales,
It's going to be someone like Ian Foster.
It's going to be...
Ian Foster's going to get the job for Wales.
It's going to be Steve Tandy. And I think Matt Sherratt will be an attack coach, and I think Danny Wilson will be a defense coach or a forwards coach or something.
Handy.
Handy Tandy's coming. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we talked about everything we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Got into it. We disagreed.
We're in a bit of a salty mood about rugby today, aren't we? Understandably.
Yeah, because I was...
Our European trip is ruined.
Yeah.
Wales is still a shit show.
I watched the real Leinster game, and your hatred for Leinster, you don't want to give them any credit.
I gave him way more credit than you did just now. I gave him way more credit than you did. I even gave Prendergast more credit than you did today. You were angry.
Yeah, I was angry.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll still have fun.
Well, friends, like and share the podcast, and you can email us at thefriendsofrugbypod@gmail.com. You can find us on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. See you in Cardiff.
See you in Cardiff.
If you're going.